How to set up the triangle. Let's start from mount. Our opponent is in defensive position like so. I need to get inside the space between his arms and chest. I will prefer his top arm to easily insert my arm inside. I am pushing from my legs and do so-called Superman like so. So, from seated position, I am gaining the inside position and getting my forearm under his head like so. Usually your opponent will put his hand on your chest, like so. Now I will shift my weight to the side, my left leg controlling his hip. I am applying my weight towards his head with shoulder pressure. You can anchor your fingers under his armpit to enhance the pressure. I am pulling his lapel out with my free arm. Take the very end of the lapel. Now try to put your fist to the mat over his shoulder. Be careful here. Sometimes it hurts opponent's elbow. For those of you who has similar problem, try to push your elbow to your rib cage. That helps a lot. If you have similar issue, leave your advice for others in the comment. Let's continue. Put the lapel to the second hand, so he can't use his hand to defend himself. Always think about your base. You can manage it with your hand by pushing yourself off the ground. This is the area which you should occupy with your arm to maintain stability. Shift your weight over his shoulder and put your head to the floor. By doing so, you will lift him to his side. Put your knee near his head. When you are here, it is very important to pull your elbow towards his shoulder and towards the ground. Maintain your weight over his head to prevent big movements. In this position, opponent can't turn to the left or to the right because I have frames on both sides. It is very hard for him to bridge into me from such position, so it is barely worth trying. But if he managed to slide up and bridge afterwards, he can get the top position and turn me over to my back, which is not very favorable position to be in. Let's do it one more time from the beginning. Insert your arm, control the head and apply shoulder pressure. Shift to the side. Pull out the lapel and trap his arm with it. Pass the lapel to your second arm. You can anchor to him by pulling his triceps to your chest. Focus on your base and weight distribution. Put your forehead to the ground. Switch your base up over the head. Sit up and lock his upper body in place. Place your leg up and under his head to prevent any upward sliding attempts. I advise you to pull his head up to prevent bridging. Switch your base and put your leg over his shoulder. Now it is unnecessary to continue to hold his lapel so you can safely release it. He will not go anywhere. If you prefer even tighter control, you can pull your shin closer to your crutch. Now you need to shift your weight over his chest. Put your leg over his head and apply the arm bar. The second option from this position is the triangle. Keep his head up with your forearm. Lean forward, divide your weight between your arm and back leg to easily turn around his neck. The goal is to get your foot as close to his armpit as possible. Place your shin on the ground behind his neck, pull your heel to your butt and lean forward. Close your triangle and seat up to apply bodyweight pressure and finish the strangle. You don't need to hurry. Use your hand to push off the ground and get up in controlled manner. Squeeze your legs together to apply even more pressure. How to set up the reverse Ezekiel. Grip the top arm with your palm up and with your second hand pushing to the elbow. Pin his hand to the ground. Common reaction is to turn sideways and try to reinforce the arm with the second one to prevent the Americana lock. Switch your base and get the Kimura lock on the top arm. Pull his whole body as close to yourself as possible. Opponents usually try to break your lock by stretching their arm like so. I release the arm and grab my own sleeve. Insert 3 or 4 fingers inside your sleeve and turn your palm away from him. I pull my left arm back and over his head. Push it to his neck and stretch the lower arm. Let's do it one more time. Put your body weight over his arm. Shift your base when he defends the Americana. Release the Kimura grip as he tries to break it by stretching his arm. 3 fingers inside the sleeve. Put your palm to his neck and stretch the arms to apply enough pressure for the finish. How to set up the lapel Ezekiel. Last variation begins and continues the same way as the first one, till the lapel pull out. Remember to grip his armpit to apply sufficient shoulder pressure. Shift your base and use the free hand to pull out the lapel and punch it up to his shoulder. But this time the opponent didn't allow us to wrap his arm, and still, we passed the lapel to the second hand. So now I have the lapel control but didn't have his arm trapped. Opponent can think that he is safe now because of the free hand. So we need to adjust our approach from here. I will switch my base and lift the lapel up to get my arm under and to the other side of his neck. I put my fist on his neck, lift him up and apply pressure to finish the strangle. Let's look at the sequence one more time and repeat most important details. Push your arm through under the top arm. Grab his armpit with your fingers and apply shoulder pressure. Pull and pass the lapel to the second hand. And now the important finishing detail, don't just push down your fist to his neck. It is much more effective to lift him up with the lapel while applying pressure with the fist. If you enjoyed the techniques, please let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe.